Welcome. In this video, we can see the poem Our Casuarina Tree by Torudat. Torudat was born on March 4, 1856 and lived up to 1877. She was a Bengali poet from the Indian subcontinent. She wrote in English and in French. She was the third daughter of the family. She also had the advantage of being taught by excellent English tutors at home and later on of the long stay in Europe and England. Toru, with all her exposure and involvement in Western life and culture, loved the land of her birth and remained Indian in her consciousness and sensibility. Besides her well-known collection of poems with the title Ancient Ballads and Legends of Hindustan, she has to her credit a volume of poems in French titled Sheaf Gleaned in French Fields. Our Casuarina Tree, the most well-known of Toru's poems, was included in her miscellaneous poems. Summary of the poem. The Casuarina tree is tall and strong with a creeper winding around it like a python. The tree stands like a giant with a colorful scarf of flowers. Birds surround the garden and the sweet song of the birds are heard. The poet is delighted to see the Casuarina tree through her casement. She sees a grey monkey sitting like a statue on top of the tree, the cows grazing, and water lilies springing in the pond. The poet feels that the tree is dear to her, not for its impressive appearance, but for the nostalgic memories of her happy childhood that it brings to her. She strongly believes that nature communicates with human beings. The poet could communicate with the tree even when she was in a far-off land, as she could hear the tree lamenting her absence. The poet consecrates the tree's memory to her loved ones who are not alive. She immortalizes the tree through her poem, like the poet Wordsworth, who sanctified the yew tree of Borrowdale in verse. She expresses her wish that the tree should be remembered out of love, and the memory of the tree will live in her poem forever.
The Casuarina tree is trailed by a creeper vine like a huge python. The creeper had left deep marks on the trunk of tree. The Casuarina tree was wearing the scarf of the creeper, hung with crimson flowers. At dawn, when the poetess opened her window, she was delighted to see the Casuarina tree. Mostly in winter, a grey baboon was sitting on the crest of the tree, seeing the sunrise, with her younger ones leaping and playing in the tree boughs. The kohilas singing, the cows grazing, and the water lilies springing in the pond. The tree was so dear to the poetess because it brings happy childhood memories to her. It was under the shade of the tree that she and her friends played as children. The poetess could communicate with the tree even when she was far off land, as she could hear the tree lamenting her absence. She immortalized the tree through her poem, like Wordsworth, who sanctified the yew tree of Borodale in verse. She finally wishes her love became so strong that it saves the cashew nut tree from its demise.
What does the poet talk about here? The poet talks about her Casuarina tree. Is the tree tall or short? The tree is very tall as its summit seems to touch the stars. What is compared to a python? The creeper is compared to a python. Which tree is referred to in the above lines? The Casuarina tree is referred to in the above lines. How does the poet begin her day? The poet begins her day watching the beauty of the Casuarina tree at dawn. Where does the poet watch the tree from? The poet watches the tree from the windows. What is meant by dawn? Dawn means early morning. How does she feel? She feels delighted. How is the shadow cast by the tree? The shadow cast by the tree is vast and beautiful. Where are the lilies? The lilies are in the broad tank in the shadow of the tree. What is the lily compared to? The lily in huge number is compared to snow. Who does the word we refer to here? We refers to the poet, her friends, and her siblings. What is dear to the poet? The Casuarina tree is dear to the poet. Why is it dear to the poet? The tree is dear to the poet because she had played with her friends and siblings under the tree in her childhood. What does the word unknown refer to? It refers to the world of the departed souls. Explain the phrase unknown yet well known to the eye of faith. It means with the eyes of faith, one can see the unknown as well known. Why does the poet use the word veil? The poet uses the word veil for mourning. Who is the giant here? The Casuarina tree is a giant here. Why is the scarf colorful? The flowers in crimson are the causes for the colorful scarf. Which tree is referred to in the above line? Casuarina tree is referred to in the above line? Why does Toru use the expression a creeper climbs? Toru uses the expression because a vine plant actually grows on the Casuarina tree. What does the poet mean by the expression, may love defend thee from oblivion's curse? The poet means that the tree should be remembered out of love, and the memory of the tree will live in her poem forever. What does the expression fain convey? Fain means eager. The poet is eager to make the Casuarina tree holy. What does the poet convey through the expression fear, trembling, hope? The poet believes that the Casuarina tree will be remembered as the yew tree in Wordsworth's poem. Thank you for watching. Thank you.